All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Do us a favor, go ahead and hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. We're back at you again. This is Sharp Edge News TV. Welcome back. Today we have some stories we want to cover around the world. We're going to talk about TINUBU'S return to Nigeria. We're going to talk about the rivers crisis between the TINUBU, the WIKE, and the Fubara. We're going to talk about the ongoing race towards the actual election, right? So I'm talking about the United States election. But yes, without any further ado, all right, we're going to brace ourselves because it's time to welcome the man who wears two very impressive hats, one as the publisher and editor-in-chief of SharpEdgeNews.com and the other as a high chief. Yes, you heard that right. He's not just cutting through the news like a hot knife through butter. He's also holding it down as the High Chief Odokwetu of Ayediogbese in Akure, Ondo State. So whether he's ruling the newsroom or the kingdom, this man is always a sharp edge ahead. Give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Oladimeji Abitogun, the king of breaking news and traditional titles. Welcome, Prodigy.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me back. But such a heavy burden you impose on me, and I prefer to be on the simple lane of life, and in a traditional consciousness as a people of Yoruba or Akure. They talk of a big name that I often overwhelms a puppy. I don't know, I don't know if you have ever had such a problem, but that said, Ayediogbese is it's actually located in the Akure North local government area of Ondo State. It is a small kingdom, completely autonomous, with its own administration, culture, not just culture, cultural identity, and everything that makes for, the consciousness of a worthy people. That said, Ola, let me thank you for bringing me back, and to our audience across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, awesome.
Our sincere appreciation. Thanks so much. It's good to be back.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back. All right. Without any further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into your weekly Sharp Edge News special report. Let's have it.
Oh, thank you very much. We kickstarted with on a cultural note. Let us make it a continuation of the expose and exposition that we were doing on the real identity, the origin of Yoruba people. I mean, a news event and history and documentary that was put together by Mr. Olalekun Fabilola. You remember in that production the history of Obaile, not just Obaile people. We was talking of the origin of Yoruba people. For example, you would have heard that people talk of Oloba Lonile, and the usual expression and song Oba Melogu Allah Loba Isa Allah. Now the Oba people do not have any magical or about conjecture or contraption other than always putting it together and using Mother Earth as using Mother Earth to perform magical feats. Their solid belief in the consciousness of the earth, the soil that we all believe to be the origin and the end of every creature, is always something that's worked with them. And you compare between that and other thinking and movements and consciousness and studies all over the world. Particularly, for example, you want to think of people of Eza in Ebonyi State, Abakaliki area. they always talk of, they have this consciousness about land, which is known as Kamenu. Anything they do, they want to invoke that the land, Mother Earth, is always a witness. And in no other place in Yoruba land do you find any, any sub-ethnic group that reverts the place of a Mother Earth or land than you have in Obaile. Now, a particular chief, I do not know if it's the Chief Agbaki, is that a production by Lekon Fabilola, keeps referring to issues of idols and what have you. Idols can only occur when you are positing all these beings and revere them, religious personalities, against the backdrop of the Holy Bible or maybe the Holy Quran, what has been known as foreign incursion, foreign religious incursion, or what you would look at territorial invasion by other thoughts and religious identities and ideologies all over Africa. There is nothing that can be approximate to idol like that. A chief was portraying it. These were personalities while alive who attained superordinary and supernatural feats, such that in the consciousness of the people and in their thinking, they have been beatified, canonized. It's a process, but it doesn't take the kind of ceremony you witness at the Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, where maybe Reverend Father Tansy would first be beatified and then later canonized and becomes a saint. But that sainthood is often attained by several individuals, kings, people who did extraordinary things in Yoruba land. And so in Obaile, you have them. This as against the expression that reduces them to mere idols. These are pantheons and deities, and chief amongst that, you have heard of Onyile, Eyeogbo, Obaluaye, and so on and so forth. And only in such tradocentric communities like Obaile would you find a deep understanding and the place of these deities and pantheons. Now, he mentioned the use of Aire-Dison, Odofin Roku, Aire-Dison, Aire-Korun, Odofin Boale. Yes, we love our big cousin. Lekon's dad was my elder cousin, the older Baba Fabilola, whom you yourself remember, Baba Samson Fabilola, we knew as Baba Agba, and Baba Cornelius Ojabitogun was Baba Kekere in Ayede Ogbese. Now, when the late Chief Adebayo Fabilola, the father of Lekon, was Odofin Obaile, he ascended that chieftaincy stool, which is the number 2 in the community, second only to the king of the community. He ascended that throne from his mother's side, the Odofin family. Now, to the father's side, which we all belong, that is where our own grandmother, paternal grandmother, the father of Cornelius Abitogun, was born into the great Sao family. Father of Mama Onyi Sekun was Sao Olagbemi, and that was the man that gave birth to Sao Faloye. The Faloye family, all over the world. They are from, that is the firstborn of Sao Olagbemi, and then came, our own grandparents, the Fabilolas, the Ogundaris, the Omodaras, the Onisekus, and so on and so forth. So, Odun Boko, that was often celebrated by the late Odofin, did not mean that they were worshipping maybe Orisha or something. No, it only means return from an all-year-round labor from the farm. Yes, and it was often celebrated with fanfare. A whole cow would I mean, will be killed to make feast for everybody. And you find the hunters. Those were the times that we had good drummers in the community, you know, very good drummers. And then whether it's CB or what have you, everywhere in Yoruba land, particularly around Ekiti and Ondo State, I have attended festivals, Iju Tagbolu, Iju, Itagbolu, Odumno, Ikpisha, you know, where they celebrate kings. Unlike the High Chief from Obaile said that Odun Agbon is not where people celebrate putting the strokes. It's not about coconut. Remember, what he said about a late slave of the Reni Oloba then, who I mean had an affair.
They have to they have to re-unalive him every year.
That's right. That's right. So each year this man had to be put back to judgment. Yeah. So whatever that is, but whether it's CB or whatever by lay people do, you need to be there. Enjoy the music, enjoy the celebrations, enjoy the meals. We used to enjoy it. We never saw it as an idol, and it was never idol worship. Is it when somebody has committed something next to the unheard of in the community that it had to be parodied through songs where people will be singing Otisibeyo, Titiko, Titikoti, you know, also Runjadu, Shonwe, also Runjadu, Odo Fisher Okon, Mamu. Please, I don't want to go too deep into all this because you say yeah, but such is the fun. Whatever you find journalism doing, especially the tabloid form doing all over the world today, exposing the shenanigans and the corruption of public officials, you find that in prehistoric Yoruba society, pre-colonial Yoruba, and Obaile is a place where you need to go. So let us give kudos to people like Lekon, Fabilola, and the people of Obaile who have kept the consciousness on. Now we move from there to Igbora.
Okay.
In present, Igbora in same Southwest, where several reports from way back in the 1970s.
Let's do that in about 60 seconds, if that's possible. I know it's a lot.
Yeah. But what you find out that Southwest Southwest Nigeria, Yoruba land is where you find the more occurrence of birth of twins. But in Igbora, it's almost like a constellation. You know, it occurs so naturally to them, and people in the locality often feel that, you eat ewedu and amala, that is why you are likely going to have a set of twins or triplets or what have you. But what research is showing is...
is the Igbora linked to the same Obaile story? Yes?
No, but we're just talking of cultural consciousness all over Yoruba land. What marks Yoruba people out, and what people of the world should pay attention to. Now, in Igbora, they believe is about eating ewedu and amala. But science is saying no. It's in the... it's something that is hereditary. And so maybe we can embrace more of science than mere speculation and understand why we are the way we are.
There's an actual town in Oyo State called Igbora. Is it the same?
That is the place. Yes, it's the same place.
Okay.
That's the same place. Okay. So you find this consciousness while other people are killing their own set of sins, or were killing their own set of sins all over Africa. The Yorubas will celebrate them. They are more enamored by the awesomeness or the wonders of having them occurring like that regularly than looking at them as being strange and people that should be sacrificed or killed. Thank God Mary Slessor came to places like Calabar and stopped that kind of genius conduct in the past. Our special report. Just making sure that we know who we are as people of Africa.
Yeah. I see. There's a video from back in the days when YouTube was still fresh by a channel called the Bata Box. I don't know if they still exist. They actually did a documentary, and I'm looking at there's a signpost that says "You're welcome to Igbora, the home of twins."
Oh yeah, these days, I mean, it's always a week long celebration celebrating twins, and you would think the world would naturally focus attention on that. But with the rising security tension in Nigeria all the time, and the way you are likely going to run into police checkpoints and barricades extorting money from you, it makes I mean, turning all these things to tourism attraction very indeed equivalent.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much for making it concise, like Sharp Edge
Yeah.
News. Welcome
And
back.
you want more attraction from Nigeria, Southwest, get that ticket, go there. An election is taking place in Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria in the next few days. Sunday will be the debate between the gubernatorial gladiators and the people who want to watch. But you are interested in that, just be careful while out there. Go to Ondo State, see the way it goes.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. All right. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow. Tell everybody we're live every Monday, and we also drop videos. So if you
Now,
want
do
to,
we have 1 second or maybe like 30 seconds for
go ahead.
something? So now from that Ondo State, Ondo State has always been so alive and well when it comes to vaccinations and campaigns on inoculations, vaccines. Now, some people, they are embracing religious extremes and they are going to cause a rollback. Measles, I mean, ought to have been enjoying some flag off campaign now, but some schools are up in arms, resisting workers from Akure North local government, preventing them from making sure that children are vaccinated. And the mutation of some of these child killer diseases could lead to blindness. It could lead to early death before the child turns 5. This is serious. The last time Kano people wore that kind of hat, you find out that there was a reversal in the put back against the polio. This is not where we want to be in this time and century. People should understand the world in which we live. Before the coming of these campaigns and developments of, in healthcare and medicine, people used to talk of Abiku and all kinds of spirit children. Medicine has taught us better. So no school proprietor, and I hereby, and I dare say that Ondo State government should put in appropriate legislation. Any school teacher or proprietor, private schools for that matter, resisting the attempts to give a mass vaccination, such people should be made to face trial. If found guilty, sent to a long term in prison. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, that was a quick update. So hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. We have some more trendy stories for you all around the world. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So we're talking about Tinubu returns, I guess after 2 weeks or something like that. And I have a very, very, how do I describe this question? But this question, I just want us to dig in a little bit through it. What has he done in 500 days? It's been 512 days since he's been in office. And I want to hear your take on that. But before we get into that, there's a report on, I think, Vanguard. I want to read that to you with regards to his return, and then we can take it from there. It says President Tinubu arrived the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe. Wait, so they still go to that airport? They don't have a presidential place where they land on? I'm just
the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja is an ordinary. I mean, it's a state of the art super facility. So the presidential wing,
it's probably secluded for him.
Not just him, the vice president and certain VIPs.
VIPs,
and visiting heads of government and states.
All
to
right,
Nigeria.
great. One day I'll visit Abuja. Can you believe I've never been to Abuja? But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, fantastic place to be. Maybe you want anyway. I mean, we have a solid foot in there. You would be hosted
Yeah,
by
I
our
will.
bureau, our bureau uh, operators there. I mean, the SharpEdge News Bureau office at the central business area there, and
Mm-hmm.
you have all the people that will make it. I mean, worth your while been there. Accra, sorry, Accra again, my brain.
Abuja.
Abuja is a fantastic place.
All right,
That
great.
is, yeah, that is the place to be in Africa.
All right, I look forward to that. All right, so President Tinubu arrived the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at about 7:20 p.m. on Saturday evening. He was received by senior members of the administration. Recall that the president departed Abuja for the 2-week work vacation on Wednesday, October 2, as part of the annual leave. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, in a statement said President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja today, October 2, for the United Kingdom to begin a 2-week vacation, part of his yearly leave. He will use the 2 week as a working vacation as a retreat to reflect on his administration's economic reforms. He will return to the country after the leave expires, the statement said. Also on October 11, President Tinubu left the UK for Paris in France for an important engagement, according to the Senior Special Assistant on Political and Other Matters, Ibrahim Kabir Masari. Now, here's my question. I was having a conversation with a gentleman not too long ago at a friend's party, and we're having a conversation. He was obviously a very big supporter of Tinubu. Now, for me, I'm quite indifferent. Either we're talking about Tinubu, or we're talking about Kamala, or we're talking about President Trump. I'm indifferent. But he was a supporter, and he was talking about the strategic move to, first of all, remove the subsidy as soon as he came into office. Now he did that. I was talking to another friend, a colleague last night, and he was talking about how it was the dumbest decision, and he was also talking about how there's no, like, he is there's no, like I said, he said, what has he done in 500 days that is not productive? I said, well, the subsidy removal can be argued to be a productive thing, but then we have other question. What has he done? So I'm throwing the question to you right now. In 500 days, what has he done besides going to UK for vacations, removing oil subsidy, changing the national anthem back to the old one, and I don't know, maybe a call? What has he done?
Oh, yeah, you have listed some things he's done. Removal of subsidy, changing the national anthem. He's done something, but on a serious note, beyond beyond the comical farce that some actions by the administration. For example, let me tell you one thing. From the actions or inactions of Tinubu, it's obvious that Nigeria will never remain same anymore. The last time I was in Nigeria, October 2022. Before I left that country, a bag of rice sold for 30,000 naira. At that time, we were complaining that was outrageous under Buhari. As the sun is setting in Nigeria this night, you know how much a bag of rice costs? 145,000 naira.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
And they say minimum wage is 70,000 in the country.
And I'm sorry, you said how much was it before? How much did you say?
When I was living Nigeria, October 2022, it was selling for 30,000 naira. We were complaining there that was outrageous because the 4 years, the few years before that, the 3 years before that, when Jonathan was there, it was selling for average of 7,000 plus.
7,000 to 145.
Today, as the sun is setting tonight in Nigeria, and I've confirmed this before we came on air, a bag of rice is selling maybe 50 kg, is selling for 145,000 naira.
Right.
So whenever I was in Nigeria, because people would always come around, and then we try to live as a happy fold. We won't buy that. You think if I go to Nigeria now, I would dare, as much as buying a whole bag of rice, 145,000 naira? Whether you are converting what you earn in the United States to the local currency, or you are earning your pay directly in naira, obviously, that is way, way, way above the average pay grade. That is number one thing that TINUBU has done.
Okay.
I don't want to go too much into the details of what he has done, but you probably would see a video that circulated a few days ago from a Nigerian, a popular lawyer. I think one of the foot soldiers of Labour Party. He said, but for TINUBU, he would not know that there are very few principled individuals in the country called Nigeria. Particularly, he never knew there would be fake bishops. He never knew it would be possible to have Muslim tickets, and so on and so forth. So it's done so much. But without wasting so much time, let me put it together succinctly. The way I see Nigeria, the path that we have shown, is even difficult to want to have a honest analysis of the government, the administration, and the political party that is in power today in Nigeria. Because you will, for example, somebody just did a story, some report, which they have now described as fake news, on the health situation of the speculation around the
chief of staff,
chief of army staff of Nigeria. Did you see the response from the military superstructure today in Nigeria, saying such things could lead to a charge of treason and what have you? So it's becoming so dangerous to want to even volunteer an opinion. Nigeria is becoming such a closed society under the watch of TINUBU. Now it's gone, it's come back. How do I look at it?
So before you go past that rice matter, right?
Yes.
The subsidy was said to have cost Nigeria $10 billion per year.
All a matter of their opinion. They accuse people on social media of trafficking in fake news or misinformation or disinformation. They are the most guilty. You know, while I was a reporter with the Comment newspaper, now known as the Nation newspaper, in those days, we were journalists on the beat, and we covered all the protests that were led by Mr. Adams Oshomole, now a serving senator, past governor of Edo State. And what we were told then was that they were removing subsidy. Remember how some of us journalists were put on a private jet by the then Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Ghana, and we taught all the refineries in Nigeria. And what they told us was that, life will become more meaningful, there will be improvement, it will be better. Today, they told us they were removing subsidy then. Right. Now they are still removing the subsidy.
So let me just say this.
What I'm saying is that they are never transparent. Who knows?
Never transparent.
They are never. We don't know when they remove it. We don't know when they don't. But what I'm saying is that whatever floats Bola Tinubu's boat as the sitting president of Nigeria, you put your mouth in his affair, he's going to slam you with a charge of treason, or felony, namely treason. And if you don't,
Chief, you know what I'm noticing? Sorry to interject. You know what I'm noticing? The question shouldn't have been, what did he do in 500 days? 500 days. It should have been, what has he achieved in 500 days? You've done very well telling us some of the things he's done in 500 days. majority of it were negative, including lack of transparency, right? But
Yes,
maybe the question should have been, what
and
did he
this
achieve?
existential threat
The
to
threat to freedom of speech.
free speech, free expression,
Mm-hmm.
and thriving journalism. And you have certain annoying, obnoxious individuals who call themselves journalists, but they are nothing other than mere ideologues. The media wing of the ruling APC, they are always issuing subtle threats. Oh, if this had been done in a place like this, there would be execution. Oh, if that one had been done, they would have been in. Suggesting
You
the
know what
idea.
we should do? We should definitely do a sequel to this, since we run out of time describing such a long list of things that Tinubu has done in the past 100 days. We're not out of time. I think we're going to do a sequel because
But let me say this.
mm-hmm.
When Tinubu was leaving, originally he was to leave from China, and then he went to Buckingham Palace, was going to use the king of United Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
King Charles, as a facade for whatever his vision there was, until he was caught on security camera visiting an hospital while the health facilities in Nigeria all around him were turned to mugs and consulting rooms. And this got on their raw nerves. They were really angry. And then he had to rush back to Nigeria, and he said he was breathing in for just 5 minutes to see the situation in Borno, where there had been a flood damage. Now he went, as against what was officially announced by his man Friday, the respected senior colleague, who is now the spokesperson,
Bayo Onanuga,
that he will be going to UK. I mean, he will be going for 2 weeks holiday or vacation, part of his annual vacation. Fine. It was not a part of the original thing that was announced. What was the business that he had to attend to in France? Remember, look at that statement. No disclosure. Always hiding things, and then putting Nigeria to such a, putting the average Nigerian in such a situation where they speculate about himself, about his whereabouts, or that of his officials, and then people are threatened with treason and all kinds of stuff. Why is it that people cannot just speak the truth for once? Not even for once, part of the damage he has done. Not even for once has he ever addressed the country.
We're around 5 minutes over time on that story.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We're around 5 minutes over time on that
My
story.
apologies.
No problem. I'm going to send this message to...
You can't rush through an issue called Tinubu.
I understand. I'm going to send this message to the Bayo Onanugas in Nigeria. You know, if you want to trigger Nigerians, just take Tinubu on another trip again. That's
You can be sure. After all, is a fellow African brother, Paul Biya of Cameroon, has just shown up after disappearing on his people's radar. The president of Cameroon has just shown up after being away for. He's never there. But this last one, they counted. They said he's been away for 6 weeks. He's just showing up. They are just propping him up in his 90s.
At least he didn't die. He should be grateful. Africans.
Whatever happens to him, you don't have any death wish for him. But these people, they are really using up what should have passed on to younger generations with theirs. You know.
Speaking of younger generation, you're gonna want to check out this next segment. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. And we're moving on to the next segment immediately. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So for my own, I told you earlier, I said I'm a little bit indifferent with regards to any of these people. But the thing I'm fighting for is for the new generation to take over. A lot of these people that are running the show, either we're talking about in America or we're talking about in Nigeria, a lot of these people, they belong to the old generation. they should have retired literally 30 years ago. As in, someone like Buhari became the president, or whatever you want to call it, head of state, when he was in his 30s. And
Yeah.
so we are having, just we're pushing this and pushing this, and eventually, if we don't start curbing it, we're gonna have 120-year-old people running the show, and we can't keep having it. There was a recent president that passed on recently who was there. I forgot what country that was in Africa, who was there for like 38 years or something. So or something ridiculous like that. You're back. Can you hear me clearly? Let's
Yes,
make sure.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right, good. So right now we want to talk about this 14 days left. We're moving towards the Harris and Trump election thing that's coming up, and there's a report that was published on New York Times. I want to read just a short excerpt of that, and then I want to hear your take on what you feel. 14 days coming very soon to this. So according to this New York Times report, it says Vice President Kamala Harris has made a notable shift. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure I put this on screen. Notable shift in strategy to paint Donald Trump as unfit and dangerous as Democrats grow anxious about the closeness of the race just 2 weeks out. With the presidential race a dead heat 2 weeks before election day, Vice President Kamala Harris is moving aggressively to make sure voters in the battlegrounds remember precisely why they rejected Donald Trump 4 years ago. Gone is the euphoria of her joyful first weeks as the Democratic presidential nominee. She is no longer trying to diminish the former president. Now he looms large, literally. And I quote, "See for yourself," she told a crowd in Ashwaubenon, in Wisconsin. Jesus, never seen that town before. In Wisconsin on Thursday, gesturing to two large television screens installed at the rally. "Let's roll a clip." The video screens lit up with a 40-second montage of Mr. Trump bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade. All right, so here's my thing. I was talking to same colleague friend of mine last night. I was telling him, like, he was talking about fairness when it comes to power. So I was like, can you stop? There's no such thing as fairness in power. Okay. They were talking about the tussle between Russia and the NATO and the United States. I said, this is a vicious fight. I'm realizing that even in my own personal life, right? That is where may the best player win. You can't be pulling, like, she needs to start pulling out all the stunts. For me personally, I think I need a young generation there. A lot of people are talking about policies, that he has better policies. I said, listen, you're talking about I understand that policies on paper is like a big deal to people, but a lot of these people are not going to be affected by policies in short term. What's going to be...
And really, when some of these people talk of policies, Donald Trump himself never honed up to having any policy. What he spoke of is a concept of a policy. For example, like former President Barack Obama said, if you were given an assignment to turn in by your university professor, tutor, or whatever, and then you come back, oh, where is the assignment? You are telling him, I have a concept of the assignment, but where is the assignment?
An idea.
An idea. But where is the idea? Is it articulated? Without beating around the bush, we see a clear difference, remarkable difference between Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. She is doing everything, but the average American voter is always like Oliver Twist. They would demand for more.
She needs to hit harder, sir. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at.
She's doing her best. Like you said, she's supposed to be a joyous campaigner, a joyous traveler concerning this race. You don't want her to, suddenly take a flip and begin personality. She's already doing enough. In fact, crossing the line that she initially would not cross. Now,
the game is the game. She needs to hit harder personally at the personal level.
It is true. Like you said, that even in our personal lives, these struggles, you said something, maybe you are being sarcastic about it, maybe you are trying to, somebody twists it out of something for you, or it is then you know that, this is really for you. This
Ruthless.
is real life.
Yes.
This is real life. That you think you are joking. Some people are not taking it as a joke with you. And so I understand what you say, that this must be the political battle of, I mean, the life of all of us.
Of our lifetime,
But,
yes.
Of our lifetime.
Yes.
But she should also get so personal and lesser focused on what needs to be done. But it is true that everybody is talking of a dead eat stuff. But I'm increasingly getting so optimistic that she's going to clinch this. Just that it will be very close. How close? Honestly, I wish I have the crystal ball.
And let's not forget, the game is the Electoral College, not whatever we fantasize about.
And that is why, you see, this guy is almost campaigning by himself. Like the montage on Benon that you just spoke of, where he was glamorizing Roe v. Wade. Today, he is trying to rework all that to make himself look like the father of IVF. He was this, he was that. Simply flip-flopping on all these ideas. These things, these are dangerous ideologies that he marketed in the past. Is haunting him. It's even enough that all these things can be pushed in his face. It looks so ugly to him, and then he's trying to rework it. Then you will know that he's really under enormous fire. And it's so intense.
Let me give you news first. Let me give you news first, sir. You see, I'm like Kamala. I'm not joking. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not Kamala. I'm diplomatic. I'm speaking a lot of English, right? And
diplomacy is?
Yeah. But the flip side is we're talking about Trump. A third grader can understand what Trump is talking about, even if it's useless. That is an upside for him. That is an advantage for him. That's why I'm saying whatever balance she needs to look for, right, is either you're speaking too much English or you deliver. You see where I'm getting at with that, right?
Yes.
You're saying it's idea. All he has to do is accordion hand and talk at a third grade level, and you have it, and you have a bunch of people say, yeah, it makes sense. The policies are okay. She needs to break all the policies down, and then some personal attacks. Yes, because that's the game he's playing. And again, in those areas,
and don't you think some of our associates, like former President Barack Obama, is already doing that? For example,
I think I love that. Yeah.
For example, people forgot that Donald Trump really did not do much other than to inherit the overkill of works done that got carried out by Barack Obama while in office. The rollback, and you're talking of, several jobs back to back while Obama was in office. That was what rolled into the years of Donald Trump, and everybody forgot that he virtually did nothing other than sitting at his refurbished General Post Office within the precinct of the White House in D.C., where he built his Trump Hotel, and they started welcoming all kinds of stuff affecting the emolument clause in the American Constitution. I mean, personally benefiting himself and his family with the first office, until Obama came in now, reminding all of us how that was and how that was his legacy. People had forgotten. And the likelihood is that the little gains that we have made this Biden-Harris years, if this guy accidentally crashes into the Oval Office again, oh no.
Let me give you another angle in about 60 seconds so we can wrap this up, right? You see, I was watching Dr. Damage's Jackie, his real name. They did like a debate between him and Adiola Faye on Adiola Faye's platform, and a lot of the people that were Kamala Harris supporter, what they were doing is they were attacking anybody who is a Trump supporter. I think that's the wrong angle. I think if you want to attack personally, attack Trump at a personal level. Don't attack people supporting Trump, because we lose. What happens is that you sound it comes off as emotional, right? But if you attack the character,
you focus on the main dramatic personality that is Donald Trump himself.
Yes,
that's why I said
you have people saying, before you say that, sir, you have people saying you should be, if you're a Nigerian, if you're an African supporting Trump, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's not necessary. But attack Trump himself so that the people that are going to vote for him can see what you are looking to get them to do. Not attack, because when you attack them personally.
But really, would you blame the average African immigrant? We are escaping spectre of dictatorships, militarism, and what have you. And here you find a 78-year-old man who had, led insurrection, coup plot. How do you want us to get attracted to that kind of person?
How I want us to is don't use the word blame, but attack it from a place of strategy. We need to be strategic.
The way I've just positioned it, does it look strategic to you?
No, not you personally. I'm talking about the.
I know.
Those people, right?
I know the point you're making. But what I'm telling you is that it has to be emotional and everything for the average African immigrant. This is a guy
about attacking Trump's
this is a guy that want to empty the entire United States of immigrants because of certain, wrong notions upstairs. When he throws all those people out, how is he going to get the system running? And the air is it. Forget about the showmanship of going to McDonald's to serve others and what have you. He wouldn't be able to do this work. He would not be able to do that kind of work. He and his fellow travelers would not be able to handle it. So this country, as a nation of immigrants, needs every end to be on deck so that we can get to that next level, if not the ultimate utopia. This is what this is about. And so you can't blame the average African if we choose to be emotional about it or emotive, whichever way.
All right. So there's one main point here that I want us to round this up with, right? You see, the young generation is what we need in that office, particularly for this reason. We have a better tendency to listen, not because we have the best policy.
That generational shift, there must also be that you said?
Yes. We have a better
there must be that generational shift. There must also be that paradigm shift.
Yes, paradigm shift. So can you hear me in real time? Let me just make sure in real time.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a better tendency to listen. There's no one candidate that has the best policies. It just doesn't exist. But the whole idea of this is that people can adjust in real time. People can adjust to change without pushing. The older generation, they struggle with change. They struggle with change even as simple as fashion, even as simple as way of life, even as simple as how we understand religion or politics. The older generation, including me, the older we get, the more we struggle with change. So we can't go in the direction of people are getting older and older in office.
But know what, Ola? Inevitably, change will remain the only thing that is permanent about us as human beings.
Exactly. But we don't want change coming for us from a blind spot. We need to be intentional about how we handle change.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whether we are intentional about it or not, change will come. It is simply existential.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for engaging me heavy. You see, I was very engaged on that one today.
Yeah, I love it. But you know, you are deeply intellectual, and nobody should expect anything less.
All right, everybody, hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, join the conversation in the comment area. We want to know what your thoughts are about this election that's coming very, very close, 14 days away. Join the conversation. We'll be right back. We have another few minutes to cover one more story that's very, very important. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
the State Assembly is challenging an illiterate government that you have no right to be spending money without budget. And therefore, Central Bank, Accountant General, you cannot continue to release funds when the fund is not being budgeted, right? Can you sue at the State High Court? Where will you sue? Because Central Bank is federal government agency. Account of government is federal government. Mobility is mobility.
All right. So the voice you're hearing is none other than WIKE. What's going on with WIKE's voice?
He is increasingly becoming loony. Yeah.
What's going on with his voice?
Yeah. See,
is he just getting old? Hold on, sir. Let me give you the lowdown of today's story. That is something I want you to cover on before. I'll give you. There's a report, right? There's a report on where is this to know?
No, but please, before you go ahead, his confidence is coming from that place of they have state capture. You understand this?
I want to give you. I have one question for you. Okay.
Yes, because he's so confident that he has federal. The backing of federal might.
No. Before you say that, let me give you the question.
Reduce Nigeria to size. Before you say
that, let me give you the question. Okay. Then I want you to go AWire on this. Okay.
No, I won't go AWire. Let us leave that AWire in aspect for WIKE. WIKE is the one that will go AWire.
Anybody that brings basketballs, they require basketballs. But the question is very simple. Is Tinubu pulling the strings in Rivers crisis?
There won't be that. There won't. Honestly, it's so difficult for me to think otherwise. I think it's the puppeteer here. He is the one that is pulling the strings behind this puppet. And whether he's doing the dance of a prayer mantis or that of a chameleon, whatever his game plan is, this guy, apologies to Dr. Damages, such a guy that I truly...
Rudolph, I keep forgetting his name.
Rudolph Okonkwo. Yeah, he attended the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Apologies to him, but this guy is in the house to do maximum damage and is so wagged and completely out of control.
Sorry, who is this guy? Who is this guy?
Yes, I'm WIKE.
Okay.
The confidence he broods, the kind of the way he talks, the brashness, the abrasiveness, and lunatic extremism that it displays is so disgusting. It's going to destroy Nigeria the way it's going, because what he is doing, what he has done, obviously, is to stage a coup plot against the government of his home state, Rivers. Only a bastard who want to burn his own father's house down, and is displaying all the tenets of somebody who has lost legitimacy of belonging in that household. Let me borrow some words from a more experienced and a senior colleague, Dr. Ruben Abati. Earlier today, he described the performance of WIKE as bordering, borrowing certain words from his past as a professor of maybe a theater arts or a comedy or something, that his art borders on not just farce, burlesque, or what you would call them buffoonery. This guy is an original African buffoon. This WIKE. That is what he is. So let us take it further. You wanted to read out something?
No, that was it. I wanted to get you the question. which is
Yes.
the fact that, but
That,
we also have let me see here. Yeah, that was it. That was a question that I wanted to ask, because
yes.
the crisis is looming and looming, and at one point I think you were talking about it last
They,
week. I
they are
think
not
they
going to
placed.
rest. They are not going to rest until they succeed at using their
But what
uh,
is the interest? What is the vested interest in destabilizing rivers?
looting the place dry.
So it's just
Allegedly.
about money.
That yes, that the incumbent governor should be. I mean, should answer to him. There should be a formula through which they will share everything coming there. If it's not glutinous, he is the he enjoys probably the fattest budgetary vote as the Minister of Federal Capital Territory. It's not satisfied with that. You give, as a little child, you give this one the head of an elephant to drink Gary, he will still be asking for something else.
So let me ask a tough question. Though.
Yes.
Is Fubara innocent? Fubara came to that office by way of support from Isom WIKE and APC. Is that correct? APC, no, or PDP? It wasn't PDP. PDP. Okay, by way of support from the establishment, which is PDP as well, until they dismantle themselves. So he came into that office by way of that. Is Fubara innocent in all of this?
He may not be completely innocent, but let me also lend you the wisdom of a sage who is now gone, the former governor of Ondo State, the late evangelist or ambassador, whichever title you prefer. Bamidele Olumilua. He said,
why do you have to plug evangelist on that?
Because that was his preferred title. He had several titles while in office.
That was part of our problems. We don't know how to separate these things. That's why is he a pastor in the first place? Why must everybody become a pastor in Nigeria? But anyway,
I do not know because well, remember in those days that so deluge of prayers at government house in Alagbaka, Akure. But what he said, he said, "No man, you know what that translates into? You have to cringe. You have to cringe. You have to pretend in order to penetrate into into a house of honor or into the fold of wealth.
So it's almost like is that almost like
that's right. I think that was the game that Fubara played on him, because it was obvious to everybody that Nyesom Wike was manipulative. Otherwise, how did he get to pay? I mean, how did he get to hire and pay thousands of special assistants during the election period? The number of special assistants he hired were enough to even deliver victory for him in that state. So openly, he bought those votes. And he had federal might, and they thought, oh, he was swinging things for the ruling party APC. He was not just doing that, scaring away everybody. What that guy perfected, what he perpetuated for years, will be a subject of interest to leading political scientists and researchers on aspects of our social political evolution in Nigeria, if not Africa generally. That is the legacy he brought to Nigeria. And he should only look, he looks at himself as somebody that looms large, but he should look at the example of compatriots that came before him, people who sold their folks cheaply, people who violated the kindred consciousness of their time.
Yeah. So one last question for you, and then we'll round up with this.
Yeah, there is a place for him as a political villain. Of course, in the future that will come.
So he has a wife. Is that what it means?
He has a wife. He has children. The wife supposedly is a lawyer and a judge. They are not cautioning him that he is embarrassing that family.
They won't. It's not about fairness, like I've been saying.
Yeah, it is about how rugged, how ruthless anybody could be. But ultimately, what does that? I mean, someday we all will be no more. Others will continue to reveal our legacies, our heritage. What does he want people to say about it? He looks at himself as being bigger than the generality. And that gives me worry.
So I'm
Now,
guessing.
you wanted to ask something?
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what WIKE means by Fubara's government being illiterate.
He himself that is passing such opinion, how literate is he?
Oh God, that's not the question now. Okay, hit the like button, share, subscribe.
How literate is WIKE? Does it sound like somebody that is literate?
Hit like, share, subscribe, follow everybody.
Oh, you think because they said he's a lawyer, you think he will be learned? You think he's educated? Don't think every so-called pretentious learned person is learned. This one is too raw. It's too crude.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, thank you for being here today. Everybody that stopped by, please help us like, share, subscribe, follow. Apologies for the extra 1 minute and 38 seconds we took, but we want to try to we're working heavily behind the scenes to keep the time. I think we did a good job today. What do you think, sir? We're only 1 minute over.
Yeah,
right.
just to express appreciation for the work you are doing, and to again thank our audience for hanging in there with us. We can only improve on the standards we are setting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hopefully you guys have been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. See you next time.